Today we're going to discuss the predictability of diabetes in Pima Indian women. Our subjects range in age from 21 to 81, with 65% of the patients 35 years or less. 15% of these women have never had children, while 40% have had 1 to 3, 23% have had 4 to 7, and 22% have had more than 7. The pedigree function is the expected genetic influence of affected and unaffected relatives on a subject's eventual disease risk. With diabetes, we're showing that 64% of our subjects are at a very low risk, 30% are at a low risk, 5% have a medium risk, and fewer than 2% have a high or a very high risk. Fasting glucose levels of our subjects range from 78% in the normal range, 10% pre-diabetes range, and 12% chemical diabetes. Chemical diabetes is a form of diabetes in which you are experiencing no symptoms but have abnormal responses to diagnostic tests. The glucose tolerance test is conducted by giving a patient 75 milligrams oral dose of glucose. Blood glucose levels are then measured over a period of 2 hours. World Health Organization guidelines interpret a level of 140 milligrams as normal. 75% of our participants are in the normal range, 25% of our participants are in the impaired range, and none of our participants are in the diabetic range. The triceps skin fold test is a fat index of the upper arm. Research has found the relationship between skin fold fat and deep fat is measurable in this manner. 31% of our subjects have below normal tricep fat. 22% have normal tricep fat. 35% have heavy tricep fat, and 12% have very heavy tricep fat. BMI, or body mass index, is a simple measure of a person's thinness or thickness in relation to their height. Of our subjects, 2% are underweight, 13% are of normal weight, 23% are overweight, and 62% are obese. Ironically, one of the things that was not measured in the study is the father's diet. Within the past couple of years, geneticists have shown that a father's with high-fat diet can turn on the likelihood of diabetes in their offspring for as many as 5 generations. I have used the available data to run several models. Subjects with 0 blood pressure readings or 0 body fat index have been eliminated. The resulting 11 models are 70 to 80% accurate at determining which subjects do not have diabetes. The decision tree is our first model, which is easy to understand and interpret. Our decision tree was 72% accurate at determining subjects without diabetes, with a 28% error rate. A C-tree, also known as a conditional inference tree, is much like a decision tree, however it avoids the bias found in variables with multiple levels. Our C-tree was slightly less accurate than the decision tree with 71% accuracy, or 71% of the time it could tell who did not have diabetes. The C5 decision tree is a more efficient model in that it only uses the most important features, yet can easily be overfit. Our C5 tree was 73% accurate at showing the subjects without diabetes. The random forest, much like the C5 decision tree, only selects the most important features. It is also good with missing and noisy data. Random forests are not easy to interpret. our random forest did slightly better than the C5 tree, obtaining a 74% accuracy in showing those who do not have diabetes. We have 2 additional random forests that have been tuned using both cross-validation and a grid indicating the number of features to test at each split. Unfortunately, neither of the tuned random forests performed any better than the original. Boosting, bagging, and SVM have also been used on these models, and the results have not performed any better than the previous models. The final 2 models use the nearest neighbor algorithm. This algorithm is simple and fast to train and makes no assumptions about the underlying data. However, if there are nominal features or missing data, additional processing is required. For both nearest neighbor algorithms, they have used the min-max normalization and the z-score standardization, with the standard z-score standard performing slightly better than normalized. It used a K of 25, which is roughly the square root of the number of observations. In both models, we achieved nearly 80%, with the z-score scoring slightly better. As more data becomes available, it is likely that the nearest neighbor models will learn further and their accuracy be improved over time.